When your dog makes direct eye contact with you, do you actually know what that means? Most people assume it's a sign of love or attention. And sometimes it is. But behind that simple gaze, there's something deeper that most dog owners completely miss. It's one of the most instinctive and emotionally loaded things your dog can do. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might confuse your dog or even create tension without realizing it. Let's start with what this behavior really means. 1. The debunk. It's not always love. Your dog looks at you, just stares. You smile. Maybe you say, "Oh." Most people think eye contact is always affection. Here's what's actually happening. Eye contact in dogs is not universally friendly. It's context dependent. In human culture, eye contact builds connection. But in the canine world, it can mean something very different. Direct staring can be a challenge, a test, even a warning. So when your dog locks eyes with you, it's not automatically love. It's communication, and the meaning depends on everything else happening around that moment. Think about that for a second. Your dog isn't just looking at you. They're reading you, measuring you, responding to you. And what this reveals is simple but powerful. Your dog doesn't just see you as a friend. They see you as part of their social structure. And how you respond to that eye contact shapes how they understand your role. 2. The science, oxytocin, and emotional bonding. Now here's where it gets interesting. A 2015 study from Asabu University in Japan found that when dogs and their owners share soft, relaxed eye contact, both experience a rising oxytocin. That's the same hormone responsible for bonding between a mother and her child. Here's what that means. When your dog looks at you with relaxed eyes, soft body language, maybe a gentle tail wag, they're not just looking, they're bonding. They're reinforcing your connection on a biological level. But here's what most people don't realize, that same eye contact, if it becomes too intense, too rigid, or too prolonged, can flip into something else entirely. Because dogs are wired to interpret staring as pressure. Think about that for a second. The exact same behavior, eye contact, can either deepen trust or create discomfort. What makes the difference? Energy, body language, context. And what this reveals about your dog is this. They are constantly balancing connection and instinct. They want closeness with you, but they are still animals, shaped by survival rules, the scent and pack bond. You are their safe reference point. Now imagine this. Your dog looks at you during a walk, not staring aggressively, just checking in. Why do they do that? Here's what's actually happening. Dogs don't rely on vision the way humans do. They rely on scent, routine, and emotional anchors. And over time, you become that anchor. Studies on domestic dogs show that they use their owner as a secure base when exploring the world, similar to how a child uses a pause, parent. So when your dog makes brief, soft eye contact with you, they're not just looking, they're grounding themselves. Think about that for a second. In a world full of unpredictable sounds, smells, and movement, you are the one constant your dog trusts. That glance, that quick look back, that's your dog saying, "I am okay because you're here." And here's where it gets even deeper. This behavior mirrors pack dynamics. In a stable pack, members check in with the leader, not out of fear, but for coordination and security. So what this reveals is powerful. Your dog sees you as their reference point. their safe base. And every time they look at you like that, they're choosing you. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more dog owners who actually want to understand what their dog is really saying. 4. The evolutionary route. Why staring can be a threat. Now let's go deeper into instinct. In the wild, direct eye contact between animals is rarely neutral. Among wolves, the ancestors of modern dogs, a hard stare is often a signal of dominance or confrontation. It's a way of saying, I'm challenging you. So, when a dog gives a fixed unbing stare, especially with a stiff body, that instinct is still there. Here's what most people don't realize. Your dog isn't being bad when they stare like that. They're communicating in the only language they truly understand. Think about that for a second. If you respond incorrectly, like staring back intensely, leaning forward, or raising your voice, you might escalate the situation without meaning to. Because from your dog's perspective, you just accepted the challenge, and what this reveals is critical. Your dog's behavior isn't random, and understanding that instinct is the difference between harmony and confusion. 5. His selective behavior. They don't do this with everyone. Now, ask yourself this. Does your dog make soft eye contact with strangers the same way they do with you? Probably not. Here's what's actually happening. Dogs are incredibly selective with vulnerability. Relaxed eye contact requires trust. It means lowering defenses. So when your dog looks at you with calm, soft eyes, that's not something they give away freely. Think about that for a second. Out of every human your dog meets, they choose to connect with you this way. Not the neighbor, not the delivery person. You. And here's where it gets even more powerful. That eye contact is a form of emotional exposure. Your dog is saying, I feel safe enough to let my guard down with you. And what this reveals about how your dog sees you is simple. You're not just part of their life. You are their safe place. 6. The ultimate revelation. It's a conversation, not a look. Now let's bring it all together. But actually, it's a conversation. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog is asking questions, reading your emotions, seeking guidance, all in silence. Think about that for a second. No words, no commands, just a gaze that carries meaning. And here's the deeper truth most people never realize. Your response matters more than the look itself. If you soften your eyes, stay calm, and remain grounded, you reinforce trust. If you tense up, stare back, or react unpredictably, you create uncertainty. So next time your dog looks at you, pause. Don't just react. Respond. Because in that moment, your dog is learning who you are to them. Leader? Safe place? Or something unclear? And by the way, if your dog suddenly stops making eye contact with you, don't ignore it. Well, come back to that later, because it means more than most people realize. Now, here's the truth. Dogs who avoid eye contact completely may be feeling stressed, anxious, or disconnected. Animal behavior. Researchers have observed that reduced engagement, like avoiding gaze, can signal emotional withdrawal or even discomfort. Remember earlier when I mentioned that eye contact is a form of connection? This is what that really means. When it disappears, so does part of that connection. Think about that for a second. Your dog isn't just looking away. They might be saying, I don't feel safe right now. Or worse, I don't understand you anymore. And that's not something to brush off. Because small changes in behavior often come before bigger issues. So when your dog makes eye contact with you, it's not just a look. It's not just attention. It's not just a love. That's not a simple glance. That's a complex emotional signal shaped by instinct, trust, and connection. It can mean bonding. It can mean uncertainty. It can even mean tension. And your job isn't to guess. It's to understand. Because that moment when your dog looks into your eyes, that's communication. That's trust being offered or tested. That behavior. It was never small to your dog. And it shouldn't be small to you either.